Sairam, dear children, just to summarize on what we discussed last week, we had a basic introduction on what the Gita is. It's basically a conversation between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna is one of the Pandavas, and this is all happening in a war setting, the Kurukshetra war, which is being waged between the Pandavas who represent the good and the Kauravas who represent the not so good. Just before war begins, Arjuna tells his charioteer friend Krishna to take the chariot right into the middle of the battlefield so that he can see who he's fighting. But the moment he sees his friends and relatives on the opposite side, he gets confused. He's in a dilemma. He decides not to fight. He in fact refuses to fight. This is when Krishna steps in and starts talking to him, and this is where the whole Bhagavad Gita actually starts. Now for the big question. Have you ever wondered, children, why a short conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, a conversation between two friends, should become one of the greatest books of wisdom in the world today? Well, this is because this is not just a mere story, it's actually an allegory. It's a story which works on us at different levels. One side we know it's a story of the Mahabharata, where the good, that is the Pandavas, are fighting the bad, which is the Kauravas. On the other side, it is also telling us about the Mahabharata which is happening right within us. Yes, the war which happens between our mind and our heart. The war which happens when we have to make choices. Choice between right and wrong. Choice between good and bad. The Gita is one of the greatest conversations in the world to listen to, because what Krishna is telling Arjuna is really a message he's sending out to all of us on how to live our lives in the most honest, best possible way. Back to the battlefield, what did Krishna actually tell Arjuna? Krishna told Arjuna about the concept of Atma, the concept of his inner soul, of his inner conscience. We all have a small Krishna within us, children. That is the pure consciousness which is there within you, which actually tells you what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad. There is always an inner conscience which will always correct your behavior and your actions from time to time. You must always listen to it. How do you listen to it? To listen to it, you must train it. To train it, you have to do silent meditation. You have to do the Gayatri Mantram. This is what will help you listen to your inner conscience. Krishna told Arjuna that he must focus on doing his duty. He must not bother about the consequence. This is exactly what every child should also do. We should only focus on our actions. We should only focus on sincerely doing our work without worrying about the results. When you focus, the universe will automatically decide on what the consequence should be. Krishna told Arjuna that he must defend the good and he must destroy the bad. He must be true to himself and never hesitate to fight the good fight with everything that he's got, for as long as it takes. That is a secret to being happy. That is a secret of a good life. That is the only way to live. To help you understand on how focusing on your work with single-minded attention will help you get success, we have a story which is going to be recited by Sister Ranjana. Please do listen to it attentively.
Om Sai Ram. Guru Drona was the military teacher for both the Kauravas and the Pandavas. At the end of their military training came final examination time. Drona put a wooden eagle on the branch of a nearby tree. Nobody knew it was just a doll. It looked like a real eagle. To pass the graduation test, every one of the students was supposed to cut off the eagle's head with one arrow. Guru Drona first asked Yudhishthira, the eldest of the Pandavas, "Get ready, look at the eagle and tell me what you are seeing." Yudhishthira replied, "I see the sky, the clouds, the tree trunk, the branches, the leaves and the eagle sitting there." Guru Drona was not very pleased with this answer. He asked the same of all the students one by one. Every one of them gave a similar answer. Then came Arjuna's turn for the test. Guru Drona asked Arjuna, "Get ready. Look at the eagle and tell me what you are seeing." Arjuna replied, "I only see the eagle and nothing else." Drona then asked the second question, "If you are seeing the eagle, then tell me how strong is its body? What is the color of its wings?" Arjuna replied, "I'm only seeing its head and not the entire body." Guru Drona was very much pleased with Arjuna's answer and asked him to go ahead with the test. Arjuna easily cut off the head of the eagle with one arrow because he was concentrating on his aim with a single mind. He passed the test with flying colors. Arjuna was not only the greatest warrior of his time, but also a compassionate karma yogi. Lord Krishna chose Arjuna as a medium to impart the knowledge of the Holy Gita. We should all follow the example of Arjuna. Read the Gita and be like Arjuna. Whatever work you do it with single-minded attention and put your whole heart and mind into it. This is the main theme of Karma Yoga of the Gita and the secret of success in anything you do. Jai Sai Ram.
To conclude, whenever you're confused in life or you face a challenging situation in life, do not run away from your problems, children. Stand up to it. Pray to God. Pray to the inner voice, your inner conscience, which will talk to you and will exactly tell you what to do. When you do any particular action, put your whole mind onto it. For example, if you're learning your lessons, think only of the lesson. If you're singing bhajans, think only of the bhajans. Whatever be the action, put your entire sincere efforts towards it, without bothering about what the consequence or the results are going to be. This is what the Bhagavad Gita teaches us to do. To put in our efforts without bothering about the result, without having any attachment to the results of the action that we perform. I'd like to share one more story with all of you just before we conclude this session. It's about an old farmer and his grandson who lived on a farm. One day the grandson said, "I try to read the Bhagavad Gita just like you, but I don't understand it much. And whatever little I understand, I forget it very soon. What is the use of reading this book, grandfather?" the little boy asked the farmer. The old farmer quietly turned from putting coal in the stove and said, "Take this coal basket down to the river and bring me back a basket of water." The young boy did as he was told, but all the water leaked out before he got back home. The farmer asked him to try again and again, but every single time the water leaked out of the basket before he got back to the house. Finally he said exhausted, "See, Grandpa, it's useless." "So you think it's useless?" the old farmer said. "Look at the basket." The boy looked at the basket and for the first time realized that the basket had been transformed from a dirty old coal basket to a new clean one inside and out. Children, that's what happens when you read a book like the Bhagavad Gita. You might not understand or remember everything, but when you read it again and again, or when you listen to the lessons learned from the Bhagavad Gita again and again, you will definitely realize the benefit of it one day. Jai Sai Ram.